I'm just going to be using them as we go, so you might want to just take them out. What? We had a link that we did the last 2 days, a Desmos activity, right? We did F4 on Monday. On Tuesday, we did F4. All right. So first thing we're going to do is talk about the area model. So the area model is a way to multiply parts that can be broken into different pieces. We'll write smaller pieces, how about? Okay, a way to multiply parts that can be broken into smaller pieces. Okay, we're going to do 2 examples here. Alright, so for this first one, if I do A times the quantity of B plus C. This one is really easy for us to visualize how we would distribute. We'd go pew pew, it'd be pretty straightforward. But we're going to do this one with the area model first. So is A, when we look at binomial or trinomial? A monomial, it's just one part. But in the parentheses, B plus C, is that a monomial, binomial, or trinomial?
Binomial.
Binomial, it's 2 parts. Stop being weird. Alright, so we're doing a monomial times a binomial. So what we're going to end up doing is we create this box. Okay. In the front, I'm going to put this A. Okay, across the top, I'm going to split apart that B plus C. So I'm going to do B plus C. Where I see that plus sign, I'm going to put the line down that box. And this just breaks it up into 2 parts, telling me I have 2 multiplication parts that I need to accomplish. So the first thing I'm going to accomplish here is A times B. So I'm going to write that A times B. Because A is in front and B is on top, that tells me to multiply those, A times B. Now when I go to the second one, I'm going to look at the column and the row to tell me what to multiply by. So what's all the way in front of this row? A times, and then the top is C, yeah. So we'll do A times C. Love that. So for our answer, we're going to take that A times B plus A times C. We add the things on the inside. All right, so we're going to do one example here. And then we're going to do it with binomials. And then we'll try one with a trinomial. How exciting. All right, so in this one, if I have 6y to the third power times, and then in parentheses, 2y to the second power minus 3y plus 6. So first step is to make sure you have that written down correctly.
So double check that you have that written down just the way we see it up here. And then we're going to have to decide how we would want to set up our boxes. So out front, what do we have? A monomial, binomial, polynomial of some kind? What do we have? Monomial. Good. We have that 6y to the third. How about inside the boxes? What is that? Trinomial. So how many boxes do you think we need when we set up our area model?
Good. I don't know if it's going through.
We have 3 parts.
So it's one box going across, and then 3 boxes going up and down. So in front, we have that 6y to the third power. That's what we're multiplying everything by. So that one goes in the front, because that'll be for each of these parts, we'll multiply by that 6y to the third power. Then along the top in our trinomial, we have this 2y to the second power. What's going to go in my middle box? Good, negative 3y. And in the last box, it will be 6. All right, so in this first box here, I'm going to take the 6y to the third power, and I'm going to multiply it by what's on top. What's on top of that box? 2y to the second power. Now, you might be able to skip this part because you're like, yep, I see it. They connect there. So what is 6 times 2? 12. And how many y's total would be in that box if I had 3 y's and 2 y's? That'd be 5 y's. We count how many total together we add. So y to the 5th. So now in this next box, what am I going to be multiplying? Six y to the third, because that's in front. Good, times negative 3y. The part above it. So 6 times negative 3, negative 18, good. And how many y's total do I have in that box? I have 3 y's here and another y, so 4. Yeah, you're right. All right, and then in our last one here, we have 6y to the third power times 6, because that's where they line up there, times 6. So 6 times 6, 36. And how many y's? Just that y to the third. There's no more y's we're adding on. Good. So for our final, write that inside amount as a sum or as a total. So I'm going to take that 12y to the 5th power. We could do a minus 18y to the 4th power. And then with that 36, is it going to be plus 36 or minus 36? Plus. Why does this one have to be a plus? Good, it's a positive. Could I have made this other one a plus? I could have, but if I did a plus, that 18 would have to be negative. Yeah. All right, and that's our answer. All right, what I find about the area model is that when we do it with a monomial times something, a lot of people would prefer just to do the distributive property because it's easy for us just to go pew, pew, pew. Okay, after today, we're going to allow you to pick if you want to do distributive property or the area model. With monomials, when we just have one part on the outside, a lot of students will pick distributive. Okay, but what's interesting is when we do binomials, a lot of students will pick the area model because it's a little bit easier to play out and make sure you're doing all the different parts. Okay, all right, so go ahead and move down your page. We have one more that we're going to do kind of write out in A, B, and C form, and then we have 2 more examples, and then you get the rest of the time to practice today. All right, so underneath here, again, I'm going to split this just into 2 parts. One part is going to kind of be this is the format, and then I'm going to do an example over here. What? Quick check. All right, so for this one, we're going to do a binomial times a binomial. So we'll have A plus B. And we're going to multiply that by C plus D. So before when we distribute, we did like A times C, A times D, B times C, B times D. Do you remember when we did all those arrows? Got to be a lot sometimes. That's why I find the area model to be a little bit more, I don't know, user-friendly, I guess. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to draw my area, my box. And this is a binomial times a binomial. So how many parts by how many parts? How many are in that first part? 2. And how many are in the second part? 2. Okay, I like to not draw on my lines right away. I do my numbers first. So I'm going to start with A. I'm going to put A here. But then there was a plus B. So I need to split that up. So it's A. And then my B here. And B goes on a different line. So that's one of those products. Then the C plus D will go across the top. So C and D. What does it mean when the 2 parentheses are touching? Multiplication, right? When 2 things are touching in math, it's implied that we're multiplying. So now when we multiply, we're going to match up those parts to decide what we're multiplying in each of those boxes. So in this first box, what are we multiplying? A times C. Now what's nice about the area model is if you don't know that one right off the top, do you have to start with that one? No, you can start with any of the boxes. Okay, what about if I go to this box? What's this one? B times C. This one? This one? B times D. I tried tricking. I went to the bottom one. See who is paying attention. And then the top one would be A times D. Yeah. All right, so we're going to try that out with an actual binomial times binomial. Then we're going to do one more problem. We're going to try a binomial times a trinomial. Excessive. All right, so in this first one, we have negative 7y plus 2 times 6y plus 4. So since we have a binomial times a binomial, we know we'll have 2 parts and 2 parts. We can put it in either order we want. So as long as the negative 7y goes with the 2 and the 6y goes with the 4, we can do either one across the top. Which one do you guys want across the top? Negative 7y plus 2 or 6y plus 4? You want the 6y plus 4 here? Okay, 6y plus 4. And then what's going to go across this front? Negative 7y plus 2. And we can start with whichever one makes us the most happy. Yeah, if you start in that first box, we'll do negative 7y times 6y. Just pretend to pay attention. What? Okay, one more example after this. Negative 7 times 6. 42, positive or negative? Negative 42. And how many y's are in that box? 2. All right, if I move down, what am I going to multiply in this box? 2 times 6y. Because 2's in front, 6y's on top, so when connect, they make that box. 2 times 6, 12, and 1y there. All right, what about this box here? It's top row on the right. Good, negative 7y times 4. And negative 7 times 4. Negative 28. And how many y's? Just 1. And then in that last box, 2 times 4, 8. Now we're going to write those insides as a sum, as a total. Okay, we do want to think standard form, so which exponent do I want to start with? Good, the negative 42 because it has a y squared. And then what? Sure, 12y. Negative 28y. And 8. Now we're not quite done yet. What makes this one not quite done yet? Yep, we have these like terms, these y's. So the negative 42y squared was still by itself. What's 12 plus negative 28? Plus 8. All right, we're going to try one more. Because we had a y and a y. And since those both have y's in them, we can combine them because they're like terms. So just making it easier to work with. Good question. Any other questions on this one? If you wanted to, you could go back and color code it. So if you want to do negative 7y, Miss Sawyer's probably offended I didn't color code it the first time around. Are you over it? It's okay if you're not. You feel your feels, man. Purple. There we go. Look at that. Color coded. Done. Did it. Alright, this next one I'm not going to color code. If you'd like to color code it, you can. Alright, this one, last one for today. We have 4c plus 9. Times 7c squared minus 3c plus 2. All right, so in that first one, what do we call that 4c plus 9? Binomial. What do we call this last one? Trinomial. Okay, and this one, I'm not going to take quite as much time to write out all the different math parts. So I am still going to use that area model. Okay, along the front, I have 4c plus 9.
So because we have a binomial there, we have those two parts. We kind of need the two rows. Okay, we need both parts there.
Hey, you guys, just pretend I'm interested. Just pretend I'm interested. Just for like 3 more minutes.
And then how many parts are in that second group? Is that a monomial, binomial, or trinomial? Tri. So we need three boxes.
All right, so I'm not going to write down this time what we're multiplying by, and that's kind of the nice part about area model is when you don't have to. If you need to, that's fine. But it goes by a little bit faster if we can just look and see what we're multiplying. So in this first box, what are we doing? What times what?
4c times 7.
Good.
Good. So in our calculator, what will we actually put in? 4 times 7.
And we get 28. And then we have 1c in front, 2 c's on top. So how many c's together would that make? 3. Now we can jump around however we want. We could go down, we could go right, we could even skip to this very last one. Doesn't matter which order we go. Okay, I'm going to go to this next one up here. So for this one, what am I multiplying? 4 times negative 3. We get negative 12.
And then we have 1c with the 4 and 1c with the negative 3 squared. Good.
Oops. And then 4c times 2. 8c. All right, now in that bottom row, you just gave up on taking notes today. 9 times 7. 63. And how many C's will go here? 2. Zach. Saeed. Brass. Not you, Zach. Other Zach. Sorry. 9 times negative 3.
Negative 27.
Negative 27. And how many C's will this one have? Just one. I just have that one on top. Do I have any in front? Nope. And then here we have 9 times 2. 18. All right, so if we write out our answer, we have 28c to the third power. Do I have any more c to the third powers? Okay, so now I want to do my c squareds. So I have 63c to the second power. Any other c squareds? Negative 12c to the second power. So eventually I need to combine these, because these are like terms. What else do I have? A c. Which one do you want to do first? 8c or negative 27? 8c. And a negative 27c. Those are like terms. And then we have 18. So not quite done yet. Nemo thought we were. How disappointing. So long. Alright, so it's 28c to the third. There's nothing we can combine with that, so that stays 28c to the third. If I want to combine these in my calculator, what do I actually type into my calculator? Divided by? Plus negative 12. We have 51. So 51c to the second power. Plus, now I have to combine these c's. Are you sure? I don't believe you. I do believe you. Negative 19c. It had nothing to do with the calculator. I just changed my mind and thought you were believable. Plus 18. And there's our final answer. So today we'll have you practice this area model. And then Monday, when we go on to F-5, you'll get to choose which one you like better. If you like working with the area model better, if you like working with the distributive property, you get the same answers in both ways, just 2 different ways to show your work.
All right, before you pack up your notes, remember you might want to use those when you do your quick test.